It was one of those PMQs, wasn't it? What did you make of the intervention from David Davis?
Well, I am slightly puzzled and disappointed. David Davis left Theresa May's cabinet at the same time as Boris did to oppose the deal that she was coming up with over Brexit. They worked together to deliver Brexit. That's the whole purpose of the last election, to get Brexit done. Boris Johnson achieved that. He got us out of the European Union. He's also done an amazing job in Britain, really leading the world in vaccines and not going for extreme lockdowns that we've seen across Europe. And now we're seeing today with the announcements that we're at last getting out of this period of restrictions and hopefully getting life back to normal again. And that's what we need. So I think we need a Prime Minister who's going to get on with the job of running Britain, not actually talking about all these other things that are going on. I want Boris to do the job that he was elected to do.
And all the plaudits that you heap at the Prime Minister's door there, I think it's fair to say David Davis prefaced his remarks with much the same of what you just said. Here is a Prime Minister who got Brexit done. Here is a Prime Minister who's handled COVID as well as could be handled, and actually some of the fruits of that are now being borne. However, when we look at the fact that the MP for Bury South has defected to the Labour Party, when we look at the number of letters sent to the chair of the 1922 committee, or at least have a sense of how big his mailbag is, when we look at the polls suggesting that Labour's got a lead it's not enjoyed for years, people like David Davis look at the leadership and think, thanks, but no thanks anymore.
Look, every Prime Minister goes through bad patches. I think if every time Mrs Thatcher went through a bad patch, she'd have resigned probably 50 times. So let's put things into perspective. Boris has a clear mandate. He has a strong majority. He has work to do. There is things that we need to do for our country. And I believe the British people ultimately want him to get on and do the job. Yes, they're angry about what may or may not have got on in number 10, and apologies need to be made and the truth needs to come out, but I think that we have bigger issues we need to tackle. The long-term future of our country is the most important thing, and frankly I don't understand, Christian Wakeford, how you can stand as a Conservative and suddenly overnight become a socialist. I don't get that. I worry why he's really done it, and I actually think that what he's done is probably going to unite the party rather than divide it. So I think he's made a big mistake in letting the people of Bury South down and turning what was a Conservative seat overnight into a Labour seat. I don't think they're going to wear that.
Well, and we'll see there are those people who are pointing out who was one of those who felt that in circumstances like this there ought to be a by-election. But just coming back, Andrew Rosendale, if we can, to your point about Lady Thatcher, Margaret Thatcher, she stood for Thatcherism, or her set of values became known as Thatcherism. Johnsonianism? Where's that phalanx of MPs who are ideologically committed to Johnsonianism, who will protect him to the last man and woman? He's a different kind of Prime Minister. He's not a conviction politician like she was. And because he's more managerial, some would say opportunistic, and he does a fantastic job at that at times, as evidenced by Brexit, he doesn't command that kind of deep-seated loyalty that, for instance, Margaret Thatcher did. Now, that ordinarily doesn't matter until, as you say, you enter one of these periodic moments when your back's against the wall. But right now, how many friends would really go to the wall for Boris Johnson?
Well, you make a fair point, Colin, because I think that the Conservative Party should be a Conservative Party, and we shouldn't be watering everything down and being a weather vane. We need to be a party of principle that stands up for the right things for our country. And with an 80-seat majority, Boris has the biggest majority of any Conservative...
It's not 80 seats. It's not 80 seats before anymore, is it, Andrew?
Say again?
Sorry, it's not 80 seats anymore, is it, now?
No. OK. Well, it's between 70 and 80. It's still a huge mandate. And I think that he needs... The point you're making is right. He needs now to grasp all the issues that we said we'd tackle, like, for instance, immigration, the boats. This is a major issue in my constituency. People want control of immigration. We've promised it over and over again. We need to deliver on that. We need to get the national debt down. The national debt is too high. We've spent so much during the pandemic, and we need to get that sorted by getting the economy moving, by seizing the opportunities of Brexit. These are big issues that we need to face, and that's what the government should be focusing on.
Andrew Rosendale is the Tory MP for Romford, with a friend in the background.